Give it a minute. I'm gonna get Jason Mead on here. All right. Hello, everyone. What's going on? Oh,
What's up, Pete?
what's up, Jason? What's going on?
Not a whole lot.
So, Hat Heaven just had a crazy ass drop,
They did. Yep.
and it looked like there was more. More quantities this time, right?
Yeah, things stuck around for a little bit, so I think they're finally starting to up their order amounts. So
Yeah,
pretty good.
feels like it.
Yeah.
Feels like it. What's up, Jamie? We got John from Ink Park on. We got Nick's on. God, we got quite a few people on. So this should
Cool.
be pretty freaking cool, man.
Yeah.
So I wanted to change it up a little bit, and we've been doing a lot of unboxings, kind of showing off hats and stuff. But
Right.
I thought what would be cool is going through like the 10 things that I think are best in hats right now.
Okay.
Now, it's not necessarily a hat, right?
Right. Right.
But it's like themes, stuff like that sort of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. It'd be
Yeah.
good to get a little breakdown of some of the stuff.
Yeah, and what I'd love, if it's possible, is you and I will probably disagree on a couple of these things, which is cool. It's
Yep.
part of what we do, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I also would love to see if there's any comments out there, because I'm sure there's going to be some folks that don't agree,
Mm-hmm.
they disagree, don't agree, whatever. I'd love to hear some stuff in the comments, but I did do like some slides for this just so we can keep us
Okay.
on topic,
Sounds good.
if that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's start with number 10.
Okay.
So number 10, some of the text got cut off there, but improved new era quality.
Okay.
So I'm going to go back a little bit, and I'm going to talk about, I think it was about a year and a half ago, where we started to see, maybe almost 2 years now, where Bangladesh
Yeah.
was a huge hub for hats, right?
Yeah.
They were being produced in Bangladesh.
Especially after they closed Derby.
Right, and I was calling them, I think I was calling Bangladesh the land of bent brims and big crowns.
Yes. They definitely almost every hat I got from Bangladesh at the time had, well, like the flag there, had the
Mm-hmm.
wavy brim,
Yep, for sure. And now I'm happy to say Bangladesh is as good as China. That's in my opinion.
They're right up there.
Yeah. So
Yep.
obviously it feels like New Year is kind of making their rounds and kind of cleaning up some of the quality issues that were there. I'm still really concerned with any hat that comes out of Haiti or Vietnam. Old Bangladesh.
Luckily, I haven't received any Vietnam or Haiti hats. Cross my
Vietnam
fingers.
had very small crowns, so they were like made in the USA times, to the 10th degree.
Okay.
The crowns would almost be pointy.
Gotcha.
So for me, it's China and Bangladesh,
Yep.
and I think Haiti and Vietnam still have some work to do.
Sure. Yep.
But
Bangladesh. Yeah.
go ahead. No, go ahead.
Bangladesh for me is like 9 out of 10 of them are awesome.
Yeah.
But that 10th one is completely jacked up.
Yeah. Listen, there's still it's still hit or miss, right? But I think in general, I'm impressed with the fact that they got Bangladesh out under control, because Bangladesh is where most of the hats were coming from.
Oh, yes. Yep. It's almost there, for sure.
Yeah, so that's my number 10. My number 10 is improved new era quality, specifically in Bangladesh, and they kind of reel that in. Hopefully, Haiti and Vietnam are next. So
yeah.
that was my number 10.
Yep.
And I'm sure as we go along, there's going to be some more stuff. I see some folks kind of talking about. It seems like a lot agree with that assessment. So
I'm seeing that too. China to me right now is the best. And then but it's like 1A and 1B.
Yeah. All right, cool. So that was my number 10. So I think you and I are kind of in agreement there.
Yep, for sure.
I think we might have a disagreement here.
Yep.
So number 9 for me is the Undervisor and side patch craze. So for me, before you kind of get into why you disagree, I think that this was probably a pivotal moment in expanding hats to a much larger crowd. So I think first side patches, because it kind of gave a new feel. And I know side patches aren't that new, but they're at their craze at it's at an all-time high right now.
Absolutely.
Okay. And I do think there needs to be more diversity in patches, like I've talked about. And you're seeing a lot more diversity in patches now. You're seeing patches that you haven't really seen before. And I know there's limitations to what could be thrown on a hat, but it seems like it's getting more diverse. But side patches and that craze has really done a lot to expand the horizons in the hat game. That's the first part of it, right?
Yep.
The second part being the undervisors. So undervisors, New York's always hated the black nasties. We all know that. Yeah, I mean that's something that's been around for a long time, since on-fields went to black unders. Yep. Yeah, there you got one, right? But undervisor colors such as the pink that started out in NoHo, that whole piece really just took this to another level. And I remember when I first started posting them on FHS, and I think you might remember this too, I was getting made fun of.
Yeah. Yep.
They would be like, why the fuck would you put a pink under on your head, like a pink UV on your head? Well, why would you do that? Why would you do that? Well, people were putting up gifs of girls in pink panties and stuff, kind of making fun of me. But I'll tell you, it created new avenues and paths to collect hats, and it made it cool. Like, it made it cool where it wasn't just about wearing them on field or just what the pros wear. It kind of harkened back to the day when hip hop artists were wearing New Era for the first time.
It's definitely raised the awareness of the fitted hat. And I would actually say that the UV has had more to do with the rise of the fitted than necessarily the side patch has. Yep. Because like you said, side patches really started coming mainstream maybe 2 years ago. But it was when we started seeing the UVs, the pinks especially, that it really started taking off. And then now we've seen icy blues and purples and reds and yellows, and you can't buy one, right? They're sold out immediately.
I just battled on ecapcity the other day to get a lavender Colorado Rockies All-Star Game patch with that lavender under, and then the Seattle Mariners one with that really light blue under, not the icy blue, with a different kind of a teal type thing.
Blue-green tint. And those broke ecapcity's website.
Oh yeah, I mean, I was on there for 30 minutes on 2 different devices just to try to get through. But here's, what if you see the title? Mine says UV and side patch craze. So I didn't say UV or side patch craze.
Right.
The reason why I say UV and side patch is because there's this lesson I learned a long time ago about outfits when I worked with a retailer back in the day. Okay, if you have 5 hats, 5 different side patches, how many different combinations can you have? 5 different color hats, 5 different side patches.
25.
Okay, now let's throw
now
let's throw in 5 different UV colors. Where are we at now?
125.
Right. So when you start to do that math, right? 5 times 5 times 5. Before it used to be just 5 hats. Yeah. Now it's 5 hats with 5 side patch combinations, right? Yep. Then you can take all those and put 5 different UVs under it. Right. Now you're talking about 125 different options. And that's why I think the UV and side patch craze in unison has really catapulted hats.
Yes. I mean, I can't argue with that at all. It's when those started coming out that we really saw the ramp up of the popularity. Personally, I mean, I'm not going to argue with your number 9. I'm just not a fan of the side patches, more for the lack of diversity we're seeing in side patches. I mean, you see the All-Star Game one, you see the World Series ones. I mean, I don't know if I need all the different color combinations of the same side patch, right?
Yeah. For sure. Listen, we're all different, right?
Yeah.
And I think, like, for you, I get it, man. Like, you're not a side patch guy.
Yep.
I have seen you delve into the world of alternate UVs, which is Undervisor, which is cool.
Yep.
But when I think about the 10 best things right now in hats, for me, this is a huge part of it, just because of the diversity of it. And I'll say one other thing too, Jason. I think you've heard as much as I have. People say, "Oh, it's the Undervisor. You can't see it anyway."
You can. I mean, you're seeing mine right now. I'm seeing yours right now.
I don't understand why people say that, because it's absolutely fucking untrue unless you're 4'1".
Right, which neither of us are.
No, I'm 6'1", almost 6'2".
Yep.
You're gonna see my Undervisor. It's important to me, and I curve the brim just a little bit. You don't, and when you curve the brim just a little bit, you do see the Undervisor, and it makes a difference. I don't care what anybody says.
Oh,
it makes
yeah,
a difference.
Absolutely
Makes a difference.
It's a nice pop, nice alternative to just the regular green or gray. Or I like the UVs. I'm just not the fan of the side patches, because I'd rather have the distinguishing factor of the hat be on the front.
Yeah, and you want you're a fan of potentially having some of these side patches on the front of the hat. Like
I would absolutely love if some companies would start doing that.
Yeah,
but I don't know if they'll sell. So
never know. But I think listen, I do think this is my particular number 9. But I do get.
I'm surprised this isn't higher on your list. To be honest.
Well, once you see the rest of the list, I think. Well, you have seen it, but once the rest of the folks out there see the rest of the list, I think it'll make sense. So that's my number 9. So number 10 was New Era quality controls improving. Number 9 is the UV and side patch craze, and number 8 is the pre-order culture. So I think a lot of people are kind of like, fuck pre-orders, because we live in a world of instant gratification.
We do. Absolutely. Yep.
It's clear that we live in a world of instant gratification. People don't want to wait. They don't want to wait. They don't want to wait. That's why all these shipping times with Amazon are so fast. Everybody wants it right now. Okay.
Absolutely.
They don't want to go to a store anymore. Well, the average American doesn't want to go to the store anymore, but they also want it right away.
Yep.
Now, there's a reason why I like the pre-order culture, and the pre-order culture guarantees that you're going to get one.
Absolutely.
So this is where I think there's kind of a veering off between the hat and the shoe culture, right? The sneaker culture.
Oh yeah. This
because
is 100%
you're not getting this opportunity with the sneakers that are as desirable as the hats you're trying to get a hold of right now. You're not.
You're never going to get Nike to give you a pre-order opportunity for the Ben and Jerry's Chunky Dunk lows.
Yep.
It's never going to happen.
This creates balance. Now, it may be a balance that takes 3 months to create, but it creates balance. And when I get my pre-orders in, and I'll let you go, Jason. When I get my pre-orders in, it's fucking fun. I just got in all my black with pink unders with no side patch. So you'd be a fan of these. I'm going to post them tomorrow. But pre-orders come in, it's like, God, this is fucking awesome.
Yeah. And I saw when you posted all of the taxis that you got in on pre-order. I mean, I can't imagine what you were like opening that box.
Oh my God. It was exciting. It was one box. It was one box, and they threw a Hat Club pillow in there. But there's some gratification in that. Right. And you can leverage those folks that did get it before the pre-order to get a good look at them and see what they are in hand and get a better feel for them. But I love the pre-order culture. I love it.
So yeah, I mean, it's a win-win, right? It's a win for the company because they're not producing a bunch of stuff that they know may or may not sell. Right. It's a win for the customer because they get the hat that they want.
Yep.
And right now it's only a 3-month window because of COVID, because the Chinese factories closed. Shipping's all being done by boat. Yeah. When all that stuff clears up, these pre-order windows are going to be 4 to 6 weeks, right? Yeah. And I think we'll actually start seeing more pre-orders once some of this stuff slows down.
Yeah. And listen, I think it's being done the right way. So people may not agree with this, but you get a run of 72 of them. You get them in people's hands. You create a real. And it's not about hype. It's about a deliberate effort for folks to showcase what they look like in hand.
Sure.
So you get a good feel, and you have an opportunity to now, right?
Sorry, you broke up just a little bit there. Sorry.
No, what I'm saying is you get to make an informed decision because 72 people get these things in hand. I mean, I think it's the perfect way to kind of go about this. And what people have to remember too is when companies don't lose their ass with clearance, they're able to offer more cool stuff. So
they are.
You know, if a company's choking on clearance hats and loses it out the ass because they weren't able to do this pre-order style delivery of hats, they're not going to be able to offer the same amount of just quality hats going forward. It's not going to happen. They're going to lose their ass. They're not going to want to invest more. And this is the perfect way to balance customer experience and allow these great companies to continue to pump out good hats.
And we have some comments here from like Leon. Leon is saying that like the companies, hat companies are always 3 months. And then team equipment is the one that's being messed up by COVID. That may be the case. I'm not as connected in the hat ordering business as he is. So
yeah. And Marin's saying they always look better than the digitized version too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and listen, I think once I started posting, this is what ends up happening too is you've got to pay attention. So, you know, I had taxis ahead of time that weren't necessarily, no, some were part of the release, but I posted them. Pay attention when someone's posting something because you're seeing what they're going to look like. Because now what happens is I posted a picture of my top 10 taxis, and then everyone's like, how do I get these?
Well, hopefully they do another pre-order at some point, but other than that.
But pay attention. Right. And like I'm always looking. So the stuff I miss out on, I want to see what it is, what it looks like in hand. So if there is a pre-order, I jump on it. Yep. Don't ever trust the mock-ups.
Yeah. And we were seeing a lot of comments about that.
They're almost always going to look better. They're always going to look better when they're in hand, period. So
yeah, the embroidery alone is going to make them look better.
Yeah. I mean, the taxis, like when you got them in hand, anything with color in that front logo was incredible. It looked incredible. And I think people are regretting it now. So pay attention, right? Yep. But the pre-order culture is my number 8. So number 7, Hat Heaven. And I'm going to share why Hat Heaven's my number 7 in the top 10 things in the hat game right now. And it's because they've stuck to their roots. And I think their roots have always been clean, quality, alternates, right?
Yep.
Clean, quality, alternates. Then they hit you with more clean, quality alternates. Nice colors. They don't look stupid. They don't look dated. They don't look like there's some stupid sneaker hook. They're just quality. And Brian knows how to design a goddamn hat. So he picks the colors, he figures it out, and he nails it.
I wouldn't even call what he does alternates. They're reimaginings. Like that Rockies hat batting practice hat he dropped today. Yeah. He actually inverted the colors of the logo. And it almost looks like a brand new logo. And it actually, I think, even looks a little bit better. He is starting to do a little bit of the UVs and the team describes. But, you know, he's a business person, too. That's what his customers are asking for. So
and I challenged him on the team describe.
Yep.
I challenged him right on the air when he was on Views from the Vault. And he's right. Listen, what he's about is he's about pleasing his customers. So that probably is as far off the beaten path as Hat Heaven's going to veer. And I like it.
But because he even threw his own little twist in there. He made like the Statue of Liberty pink and put a pink Undervisor on it. So yeah, he does a fabulous job with these alternative colorways.
Listen, Brian is an underestimated, underrated hat pioneer. I love what he does. I love that he sticks to his roots. I love that I can go on his website and none of his hats look like shit.
Nope. The only thing I don't like is more people are finding out about him and he's selling out of stuff within minutes. I mean,
today though, quantities were better, but I also think not only were quantities better, there were more choices. So It absorbed more. What I like about what he did with this drop is, number one, he promoted it on his Instagram with 15 teasers.
Yep.
Then, but the 15 times whatever quantity he had allowed for a bunch of people to have access. So if you were actually able to choose a couple of hats and ring out.
Yep.
Okay. And I don't know, man. I'm a believer in him. I'm a believer in Hat Heaven. I'm a believer in how he sticks to what's made him successful. Not to a point where it hurts him. He still evolves, but he evolves in a clean way that sticks to his brand. You go on his Instagram, it looks clean. Yep. Everything about what this guy does is clean, organized, and really, really fits his brand. So that's my number 7. So what do you think about that?
No, dude, Hat Heaven is one of my favorite shops to go to. I love all of his social media stuff. I love his like you said, the clean designs of his hats. And I wish I could pick up just about everything he drops, minus the side ones.
Yeah, we'll get into his retail stores a little bit later, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
Because it is part of it. Now, it's not necessarily all about him, but it's about retail stores. We'll talk about that in a minute.
And Narrow just brought up something too. He does a great job of restocking things that sell out. So if you didn't get something today, wait 3 to 4 months. It'll probably be there again. I just picked up one of his Las Vegas Raiders one on a restock.
Yeah, listen, it really pains me to know that I'm going to have a harder time getting hold of his hats because of this 5-minute diatribe I just went on. But it's worth it because I believe in him and I love what he's doing.
And he's great. He's a great guy too.
Great guy. Number 6, improved social content. So I know this graphic here has LinkedIn and Google Plus, but I was just slapping this thing together before the show.
Sure.
But I think one of the 10 best things in the hat community in hats right now is improved social content. So I want to be clear. It also comes at a cost. So there's great, if you go on Instagram now, there's great stuff. You go to FHS, the New Era 5950 Fitted Hat Society group on Facebook, great content. Team Fitted, great content. There's all these places you go, great content, right?
Absolutely.
YouTube, great content. It's everywhere.
Yes.
And it's never been better, never been stronger. You got like guys like Sean Stay Fitted on YouTube.
Yep.
There's so much going on, right? And it's impressive, and I think it's one of the best things going on right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Yeah.
There's a ton of collectors posting fabulous pictures, like photographer level quality. There's YouTube channels galore devoted to hats. And like you said, some of those Facebook groups where you talk about hats all day long if you want to.
Yeah, and I guess some folks are saying Sneaky Joe, first of all, I miss you. I haven't talked to you in a while, but not pics, they're not creative. I don't know, man. I don't necessarily need to see a hat in front of the Taj Mahal. What I need to see is a hat is a picture with proper cropping that just looks good, and people get a feel for what the hat looks like. Now, if you want to go crazy, you want to go out somewhere and do something cool, that's fine. But I mean, listen, let's just kind of just crop some shit out, man. It's all about cropping things out, man. Yeah. And it's awesome to see all the engagement, all the people posting. But my one thing that I think, and it's the one negative thing I'll talk about in this realm is, if you don't know what you're talking about, shut the fuck up. So don't go live on something or go somewhere and act confidently around a topic you know shit about. So if you don't know, like for me, if I don't know what a side patch signifies or where this color came from, if I'm live, I'll ask somebody.
Right.
And I'll say, someone's going to fact check me. Someone please fact check me. This is a community. I think what's great about this is how much stuff is going on. But right now, I think also you're starting to see a little bit of folks that are just kind of walking in and pretending, like posers. like, I gotta be honest with you, man. There's one guy out there who claims to be the king of New York, right? And
Yep.
I just want to be real with you, man. I can go out right now and buy 200 Yankee side patch caps, fucking throw them on a rug somewhere, and claim I'm the king of New York. This game is about like veterans, rookies, everybody working together to kind of improve the community as a whole.
Right. And yeah, I agree. Even along with the social channels, we've seen it said quite a few times. It's quantity over quality over quantity.
Yeah.
Just because you have a shit ton of hats doesn't mean you're an expert on hats, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you're going to be touting yourself as an expert, be open to the fact that you may be wrong once in a while.
And
right?
even an expert be ready to be wrong.
Exactly.
Right?
You know, I'm wrong all the time. Good thing I have a friend like TJ that's going to fact check the shit out of me.
Yeah,
And
I love that TJ fact
offense.
checks, but everybody should be fact checking each other, right?
Yeah, I don't take offense to it. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I tried to do my research beforehand.
Yeah.
But there's great content all over YouTube, IG, Facebook, Twitter. It's fabulous.
It is literally it's like I said before, it's the golden age in hats right now, but also the golden age in the social networking that goes along with it.
Absolutely. Just one rule though, like Marin says, no bedspread picks.
Yeah.
Get a little more creative than that.
Yeah. Yep. So let's go to number 5, okay? Number 5 is probably a little bit of a topic that I think a lot of people are going to agree with me on. But fanatics and collectors, and I'm not saying the world, but collectors shunning fanatics.
Okay.
And the reason why I think this is great is because they literally are the fast food of hats. So I hate when I find out that people know nothing but lids and fanatics. Now, I gotta make this clear. Let me finish, Jason, because I want to make this clear. I am not talking negatively about any lids employee. That's not what this is about.
Yeah.
I'm talking about fanatics, the conglomerate that is intertwined in every goddamn website, be it your MLB team, your NBA team, your whoever. They are everywhere, and they're terrible. They are terrible.
I would agree.
And what I love and what I think is great is that collectors are saying, fuck you, fanatics. You're not good enough. I'm taking my business elsewhere.
Yeah.
So what do you got with that one, Jason?
Yeah, I would agree with you. Fanatics, for lack of a better word, they know their target, and their target is the guy on the street that just says, oh, I want a Reds hat.
Yeah.
I'm going to go into my lids and I'm going to buy a Reds hat, right? They don't know about the other stores that are doing custom designs. They don't care, and that's fine. There's a market for that. It's, if you're in that market, fine. As far as the collector who comes in and says they've only known about fanatics and lids, well, I treat that as an education opportunity.
Yeah.
To let them know that there is quite a few other places besides just lids and fanatics to go get stuff.
Just, you know what I think about this too, Jason? You're making me think of something. Is hat club's rise to power wasn't just pink bottoms. It wasn't just COVID. It was also fueled by a hatred for fanatics and lids.
I wouldn't say it's a hatred for lids. It's a hatred for fanatics taking over the lids website. Because before then, lids actually did a pretty good job of coming up with their own custom collections.
Yeah.
And a lot of their own custom stuff. And they really still do. Unfortunately, it's just available in their brick and mortar stores.
Yeah.
If they ship to your local store.
Well, listen, I also embarked on a lot of their exclusives, like the the Thank You Jackies, and I like their 100-year anniversary stuff. But in all honesty, I think if you're going to have a virtual storefront being a website that doesn't match the retail location, you're destined to fail. They're not
Yep.
putting lids in a place where they can succeed. So basically, lids and Fanatics are not the same. Fanatics is just utilizes lid's name
Yep.
as kind of like, you know, the sign over their storefront on the website. But it's no different than going to MLBshop.com, clicking on Red Sox. You're just going to find the same stuff there.
It's the exact same inventory. Like you said, lids.com is lids.com in name only. It's a Fanatics website.
Give your money to Hat Heaven, Hat Club, ecapcity.
Yep.
Give your money to them. Don't give your money to a conglomerate that doesn't give a shit about collectors.
Right, absolutely. In fact, if you have the opportunity, you want an on-field and you're near a stadium, go there and buy it. At least you'll be supporting the employees in that store.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Go to your local Pro Image or your local sporting goods store that may have five of your local teams.
Yeah, and go to your local lids for your on-fields if you have to choose between them and going through the Fanatics website. Go to your local lids.
At least it's going to pay the minimum wage that they're paying those employees.
And at least those employees are going to have a shot at making their bonus.
Yep.
So in short, I know I want to make this clear. I'm not speaking for Jason Mead. I'm speaking for myself. Fuck Fanatics. So number 4.
Okay.
I'm going to share a little bit about this, and I know you may have a different feeling here, but New York City retail, so brick and mortar, New York City brick and mortar. So I know a ton of people are going to say, oh, fuck New York, right? Like the only place you can get those pink bombs was No Hope, blah, blah, blah. There's something about the nostalgic feel of walking into these hat stores. Mm-hmm. Now, aside from that, people may hate to hear this, but trends tend to start in New York City.
Sure.
I'm not listen, I'm a Boston guy, but I live near New York City now. Yep. New York City's the epicenter, okay? And what they're doing, when you think about all the stuff you're seeing, Hat Club and the fashionable stuff that came out of Hat Club, Hat Heaven, you know where Brian gets his inspiration? In a store near Yankee Stadium, okay? Mm-hmm. This is the epicenter. And I think I'm going to the Bronx on Wednesday with Tyler, 718's Hat Collector, and potentially Ozzy, who is a Lids employee, an outstanding guy. We're going to hit all these stores in the Bronx because you walk into those, you feel like you're going to a baseball card shop back in the day or a comic book shop. You're going to this nostalgic, it's just different, it feels good, and you're immersed in it. And I'm sure those guys are getting and girls are getting their creative juices from being in those environments because they're different. But my number 4, New York City brick and mortar, and there's a bunch of them. There's Hat Heaven's brick and mortar, which is Caps Unlimited. You have Cap USA Harlem. You've got all these different, there's a bunch of them out there. There's For You Caps, all this stuff in New York, man. And I'm telling you, they set trends, whether you like it or not. That's what happens. And that's why they're my number 4.
Yeah, I mean, I can't argue with that. New York's always been the epicenter of pretty much everything in the United States, fashion and entertainment and whatnot. So just it follows that it would be the center of the hat world. What makes me the most upset about those stores is that there's just a handful of them that have websites, and of those, there's just a few that have good websites. And so
that's fair.
If you're not in New York City and not able to go to the Bronx or isn't there a big stretch of it up in Harlem too? Like 125th Street or something like that.
Yeah, 125th. That's where Diallo Cap is. Cap USA Harlem.
If you can't go there, you can't get any of the fire that they're dropping. So that's my only qualm with it. Get a website.
I think Blue Brims. I think Bronx Caps is that's my fittage, isn't it? In White Plains? No.
White Plains. No, maybe.
Oh no, he's talking about White Plains Road. I'm sorry, but I think my fittage is located in White Plains. That's in Westchester County, New York.
Yep, they are. At least their storefront is.
Yeah. Yep. Sorry
So
about
yeah,
that. Sorry, Jason.
no, hey, no, that's what we're here for. But yeah, I just hate the fact that we can't, us outside of New York City can't actually get some of these hats unless you know somebody or.
Well, you know me.
I know you, and because of FHS, I know a few more people that live there. But yeah, I mean, it'd be nice if they could get some websites up and running and get enough product.
Yeah.
That's probably one of the reasons they don't, and I know that's one of the reasons Diallo Cap or Cap Harlem USA took down their website, is they couldn't actually get enough product to fill orders.
So that's going to segue into something else, though, Jason. So money, clothes, cars. I'm not going to say the last part of your name because that's Spanish for something that I'm not going to say on the air. But my fitness is not in Jersey; it's in White Plains.
Ecap City's in Jersey.
What's that?
Ecap City's in Jersey.
Yeah, Ecap City's in New Jersey.
Yeah.
So, and everyone's telling me where they are. I'm going to go to. I know where they all are. I just throw my GPS and go. I'm not a subway guy right now. But
no.
The other thing is, and I want everyone to know this too, is some folks were calling me out for getting stuff early from Hat Heaven. That's not true.
No, you went to the store.
What they do is, the other thing I like about these New York City retailers, and you may not like it if you live in California or Iowa, wherever you live, you may not like it, but they have a local community they service. Mm-hmm. And they take care of that local community. So I was able to get a lot of the hats that Hat Heaven released, not because anyone hooked me up. He doesn't do that. It's because I went into his retail location and I bought the hats before they were available to the general public. Yeah. They were first made available for his community, his local community that frequents his retail establishment. Then he makes them available online for others. I think it's a great strategy. I think it's a really cool way to pay homage to your local community and make sure that they feel valued.
Yeah, and you've seen the other New York, New Jersey area stores doing that too. For You Caps does that. My Fitteds does that. Ecap City doesn't do that. The Fourth Quarter Shop in LA does that. They get their order in, they keep it in the store for a day, up to a week, and then they put the leftovers online. Yeah. Some of them are actually starting to order separate orders for their in-person store and their website. But yeah, they obviously, you have a storefront for a reason. Support your local collectors, your local hat buyers.
I'll say this though, right, Jason? I think you and I were touching upon it earlier, though. That's why the power of community is important, and we're going to get there in a minute. But if you know someone in New York, you have access. Yep. Now, I will say you probably don't have access to some of the really limited stuff that happens in NoHo, at the Hat Club in NoHo and things like that. That's different. But some of these other ones that aren't really announced, that just kind of show up in the stores, like you have friends that, if you have friends in the community and you say, hey, you're hitting up that store, all right, well, can you show me? I have people show me pictures of walls all day. I have Brett out in Seattle showing me the Seattle team store.
Oh, that thing is amazing.
It's just everywhere, man. It's everywhere. So entrench yourself in the community, get to know people, make connections, and genuine connections, not ones where you're just trying to get something from someone. Just build friendships, and you're going to have access to all this stuff, no matter where it is in the country.
And that actually goes back to that improved social content. Be nice.
Yeah.
Don't be a dick when you're posting comments or asking people for shit or whatever. Just be nice. God.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm with you on that, man. But I think building community and that sort of thing is what really drives this. And I can't plug this enough, guys. And I want to be clear, guys and girls. I'm sorry. I want to be clear. I'm not paid by anybody for this stuff. I have a job. I raise 2 kids. I do my own thing. But I love hats. I love the community aspect of it. Mm-hmm. If you aren't already affiliated or have a part of FHS, which is the Fitted Hat Society, if you search on Facebook, New Era 5950 Fitted Hat Society, get into that group, man. You're gonna be immersed in 7,500 members that are all into hats, and then you have an opportunity to build connections. Right now, and Jason, you know this, I can go get a hat right now from South Korea.
Yep.
And never leave, and that's not normal. You're not normally supposed to do that when you're in the States. I can literally get a hat from South Korea right now. I want something from Australia. Guess what? I can get it right now. It's all because of the community.
Indirectly order something off New Era, Mexico. I mean, you can't. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, but be prepared, man. I mean, you're going to be tempted, and it's almost like having, it's almost like a drug dealer with a crack dealer, a crackhead with a drug dealer right outside the door.
Yeah.
That's the dangerous part of it, but it's great.
Yep.
All right, so let's get to number 3, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
So Hat Club. So there's 2 phases to Hat Club's my number 3, and there's 2 phases to this, okay?
Okay.
The first part of it is what they themselves are doing. The second part is what they've encouraged and inspired others to do.
Okay.
Okay. So first, I love how Hat Club handles business in terms of they just want everyone to be engaged around hats and enjoy the culture of hats.
Mm-hmm.
They're not like, for me, for example, if I post, they're not frowning. They actually, some of them like the hats that I post that aren't Hat Club hats on my Instagram.
Yeah, I mean, they're fans of hats.
Yeah, they're hat fans.
Yeah.
They're hat fans. So that's one part of what they're doing. The second part is their design collective, where they have, Danny Dionic. They have Chamuco, who's also strongly connected to Brandiose and Clinkroom. But, they have him. They have John Ramirez of Ink Park.
Yep.
They have Sean McCarthy. They have Dankadelic, Martin. They have all these great artists that are kind of a part of that. So you've got, and then the third component of what they're doing is they're taking the fashion cap to the next level, and they have taken it to the next level.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That no one's done it as well as they have. No one. I don't care what anybody says. Anybody else who's creating a fashion cap now is imitating.
They're imitating. Yep. I would agree with that. Yep.
So 3 things, right? Their culture around hat community in general, the design collective, and how they've really taken it to the next level with fashion caps.
Thank you, Sneaky Joe. We forgot to mention Thrill SF.
Okay. Yeah.
Awesome.
I mean, I can't. I'm not gonna say every single
right.
artist. I mean,
yeah.
Those are the first ones that came to mind.
Yeah.
But so that's the first piece, right? And then I'm going to talk about the second piece, which is its effect on others.
Okay.
We talked a little bit about it, but I think it's created this competition that didn't exist before. It did not exist before, and now everyone's chasing them, and I love it because it's creating competition. Now, I'm not going to say what the bad things are yet, because that's going to come in the show later on in the week when I talk about the 5 worst things in fitted hats right now.
Okay.
But that is what I feel makes them number 3.
Okay. Yeah. They've obviously, Justin started a trend. He had a little egg that hatched and turned into a giant monster with these UVs.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, obviously they have continued with that train, and they're just killing it with every single collection of UV hats that come out. They're awesome looking hats. And at first, when you said breeds competition and stores were imitating, they were imitating, but it's even spun off some of those to think up their own designs and their own undervisors and their own side patch combos, and we're starting to see that creative juices flowing from those other stores too, and I hope it just keeps growing. But we all know who started this trend.
Yeah, and I see people in the comments too, like they're taking even minor league hats, right? I just got some in today. I mean,
yeah,
there's nothing like classic MILB with gray unders that just, I mean, and they're picking some great teams, man. I mean, great teams. And
they are the king of minor league retro hats. They're the king.
I think Lids was.
I mean, Lids
was.
Did okay. Yeah, but
the problem was the customers didn't get it.
Right.
And
there is a different customer base for Hat Club. It's more the collector than the dude off the street that's gonna go watch a game with some of his friends later and needs a hat. So yeah, they kill it. They pour over the details of a hat too.
Oh yeah.
Like they want to make sure that the squatchy's the right color, the eyelets are the right color. They tonal just about every single New Era flag. They
TJ, hold on. TJ,
yeah.
you're wrong. You're wrong. Because Lids was back in the day one of the only places you could get it. That's
Yep.
not that's you're wrong. You're wrong.
Yep.
You
Now,
may have liked the selection from Hat Club better of late, but if you go back 6 years ago, Lids had quality minor league baseball hats.
yeah, I wasn't collecting 6 years ago, so I can't really speak to that. So since I've been collecting, say about 4 years ago, Hat Club was killing the minor league retro game then. And as
I'm not
far as
talking
like
about the timeline hats either. Those were
no,
those were all destined to be clearance.
yeah,
But I don't even think the hat customers even understood it.
I didn't like the timeline minor league timeline hats.
No.
Anyway,
Yeah. Listen, I think we'll so Hat Club and its effect on it. We're kind of getting off the path there.
Sure. Yeah.
TJ likes to draw me into battles. That's one of the reasons why I like him.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're probably right. You know what? Listen, some people I'm gonna move on. Maybe I'm wrong here. So I'll take that. I'll take that one on the chin. So number 2, the Clinkroom.
Sure.
Clinkroom, to me, right now is probably doing design the best. And I'll tell you why.
Okay.
I believe that it's opened the floodgates. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
It's opened the floodgates. There's artists that are getting pub and noticed that never were before. You're seeing things on hats you never thought you'd see before.
Okay. Yeah.
And I think a lot of it has to do with this collaborative, open feeling to the process. So, you know, when Casey kind of brought around Clinkroom 2.0, the vision, from what I understand, is, you know, it's not going to be this funnel where only a couple designers are choosing what's going. It's going to be this collaborative effort with the community even taking part, with Monday morning crits as the week goes on, kind of people sharing what they think is great or not great. It's just done right, man. It's done right.
And the thing I love about it the most is I don't have a creative bone in my body.
Mm-hmm.
But if I have an idea, I can submit it to the Clinkroom, and they'll either put me in touch with a designer that can make it come to life, or Casey will do it, or somebody. They won't just say, "Oh, screw you, get the hell out of here." As long as it's a good idea, they'll go with it. And so it gives any one of us in the hat community, collectors, designers, whatever, a chance to get our hat made. Before they came back around, that wasn't possible unless you absolutely knew someone.
The only thing I'll say, right, is it's done right, beautiful, love the concept. It's so effective. It's creating, you know, this time where sports are in this big stall. We all feel really good about diving into something different.
Right.
And you're seeing a lot of stuff that you would never have seen before. I mean, I'm impressed. Every week I'm impressed. I'm not going to – I've got like 35 or 40 of these on pre-order.
Okay.
Because I just love it, man. I love what they're doing. Yeah. Here's my one thing that I think everyone has to be careful of.
Mm-hmm.
And it has to do with creatives and the creatives themselves.
Okay.
Slow down. Slow down.
Yep.
I'm seeing some stuff that's getting thrown up there that looks, I don't know, like slapped together too quickly. And I think when you're trying to brand yourself, and Clinkroom is big on brand, you can see it, right? The way they kind of present things, it's awesome. I love it. But as a creative who's submitting to the Clinkroom, slow down.
Yes.
Put your heart and soul into one piece, make it right, present it, and I bet you it's gonna get made. Yeah. These guys, you know, you're a little iffy, man, and you know, and it's not just what you're seeing on Clinkroom. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when you go on some of the designers' Instagrams that are submitting to Clinkroom, If you search the hashtags and you go look at some
Right.
designers that are throwing things on their wall, on their personal Instagram walls, you can tell. Don't put it on your wall until it's right. Be passionate about what you're
Yep.
doing and complete it and follow through. And tailor made for Tailor Gang, y'all trash Hat Club better. You don't even know what I'm talking about. You're obviously not even listening. We're talking about creatives and the avenue to create hats and kind of widen the custom game. Okay?
Right.
So whoever you are, Tailor Made for Tailor Gang, you don't know what you're talking about. I didn't say that they're better than Hat Club. I said they're doing something great and fantastic in the hat game, and I mean it.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that would be my one thing is like, hey, creative minds, slow down, get it right. Don't put a permanent impression out there on your wall that isn't perfect. And I see John from Ink Park. You know who does it right? John from Ink Park and Ephra Chimuko. I'm telling you, man, those two will never put shit out there.
Well, they're harder on themselves than anybody else could be. But yeah, I would say don't try and just submit designs just to get something submitted, because it's not going to work. You're not going to get selected anyway. I saw one guy a couple days ago put up like 8 designs in one day. I mean, now you're just slapping logos out there. The best part
it's almost like just hoping something sticks, where if you take the effort when you're trying to get something to stick, pick the one you're most passionate about and make it. And for the folks that are saying, so Sneaky Joe saying most are coming from pro graphic design, that's fine. I don't know how to draw. You know what I did? I found someone who did, and I came to him with a concept and an idea, and we partnered and we collaborated. And that's how Sammy came. That's how Sammy came to fruition. So I don't know. I love what they're doing.
Yeah, and the best part about what they're doing is, to me, is the stories behind the hats. The hats that they're picking isn't just a great logo. There's a great story or some design inspiration behind the logo itself.
Yeah.
So that's what I love about what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm a believer in Clinkroom. I'm a believer in Casey. I'm a believer in his vision. I'm a believer in how he executes. I just want folks to slow down and stop trying to just make shit stick to a wall. Just slow down and do it right. And you're going to get so much love from the hat community. And you're going to develop a following that John from Ink Park has. You're going to develop a following that Ephra has. So any of you folks that don't have that following, watch the veterans and how they do it.
Right.
Right?
And another little bit of advice to the designers out there that are trying to get something in there. Finish up your design and then put it away for a day. Come back to it. If you still want to submit it, go for it. But if you don't think it's good enough after a day, rework it.
Well, yeah, I think people are watching, right, Jason? The key is people are watching. So if you're building a following, people are watching.
Yeah,
they're watching.
I'm following. I look at every single one that gets submitted, and I'm like, why is this getting submitted?
Yeah, and mentorship, like in anything you do, like if it's hat collecting, if it's playing baseball, if it's creating, whatever it is, mentorship. Absolutely. Find someone that'll take you under their wing. And there's going to be some folks out there that are really expert in certain fields that are just assholes and won't take you under their wing. Find one that's not, and have them teach and help guide you through the rest.
Yep.
But all right, so let's go to number 1, okay? So, well, actually, maybe let's recap first. How's that sound?
Sounds good. Sure.
So number 10 was the improved new era quality, specifically in Bangladesh.
Yep.
Right. Number 9, UV and side patch craze.
Yep. Right. Definitely crazy.
Number 8 was the pre-order culture.
Good.
Number 7 was hat heaven and hat heaven sticking to its roots.
Classic.
Number 6, improved social content. Number 5, collectors shunning fanatics. I know that's harsh language, but hey, that's how I see it. Number 4, New York City retail brick and mortar stores. Number 3, Hat Club, what they're doing specifically and what it's doing to affect the rest of the community. Or actually the selling community. Mm-hmm. Number 2 is Clinkroom. And number 1 for me is the power of community. Absolutely. So to me, the things that I've kind of talked about with Jason throughout this entire, it's almost been an hour now, believe it or not. Yeah. It's kind of flew by. But it's all been laced with how strong friendships and community are. And you look at the sneaker game, and I love sneakers, but I'm not a fan of the sneaker game. And I got to tell you, what can we do as a community to stay away from that sort of thing? You know, and I think things like pre-order culture and all that kind of stuff, dude, that's what's best about what's about the hat game right now. I've made more friendships in the last year via just from hats,
Yeah,
than I did in my entire adolescent life.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
I talk to you and Leon more every week than I have some of my best friends in the world.
That's because we're becoming best friends in the world. And I think, I'm not saying that to be a wise guy, but but I'm saying it's just, God, man, it's like the more you immerse yourself in this, the more that you connect over something you enjoy, the more you can, share that passion with others. And, even collecting, you take people under your wing. Like I've learned the hard way that, like 20 clearance hats isn't necessarily as good as one hat that really means something to you. So,
Absolutely.
but you start to learn that, as you start to see guys that are doing that as they're trying to build their collection. They're kind of, getting to a place where it's, it's just not as meaningful.
Right. So, some of my favorite pictures is when somebody's like new to a group or new to Instagram and says, "Hey, here's my collection. It's 10 hats."
Yeah, I love it, man.
I mean, as long as you have a reason for loving those 10 hats, it's a fabulous collection.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love being a part of all of this. So for us, like even doing this, right? Like, there's people that probably disagreed with multiple things I said today. There's people that probably agreed with things I said, people that disagree with you, agree with you. But at the end of the day, man, we all do it respectfully and it feels good. And we all get more knowledgeable, in the process. And we're building friendships. So if you want anything in the hat game, it can be had. All you got to do is just make friends and be a part of the community in multiple different ways. People ask me, how do I get this or how do I get that? Why do people hit me up when they're going to a hat store? I'll tell you why, because of what I'm doing right now.
Right. Yep.
And because if someone asks me for help, I'll ask them for help. I mean, I'll give them help. If I need help, someone's going to help me. I mean, it's just great, man. And I think that's why it's number one.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. That I've been part of other communities before, not so much the sneakers, but I collected other things in the past, and everybody was out for themselves, right? And I think that's one of the great things about the hat community is there's a lot of people willing to help other collectors or, answer questions, get hats. Like you just mentioned with the New York Retail stuff. There's 6 guys I can reach out to right now that would walk down the street and get a hat for me. And you're not going to see that in a lot of these other communities. But yeah, just the way to keep it this way though is don't be a dick.
Yeah.
An asshole.
Yeah.
Be nice.
I think some people have seen me kind of verbally undress people, right? So like someone will write something in my comments or whatever. We only got about a minute and a half remaining, but I want to be clear on why I do that. And listen, I have a dickhead meter. So if I feel like your intent is to ask a genuine question or be positive and constructive, I'm going to talk to you all day long. The second I feel like you're trying to be a dick, I'm gonna go back at you, because my dad taught me that if someone chooses you, you don't back down. So if someone wants to be a dick, I'm gonna fuck with you. If you're nice and you really want to be a part of the community, you want to be a positive influence, I'm gonna spend all day doing whatever it takes to help you.
Right.
But if you're going to come on any of these groups, anybody's wall to be with the intent of being a dick, I'm going to deal with you like a dick.
Yep, I agree. I mean, earlier today, John posted one of his red and black hats that are coming out. It's the Braves one.
Yeah.
With the 95 metallic gold.
We got about 40 seconds left.
And I just asked, why didn't you make the logo gold? Just curious. And he answered back, hey, we're doing white and black hats. The side patch is gold. And some dude after that was like, gold sucks.
I know. Whatever, man.
Add something.
Yeah.
Be nice. Don't be a dick.
Well, listen, guys, it was great. I had a really good time. Jason, thanks for doing this with me. I know I'm a blowhard sometimes, but I'm really happy that you came on with me.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah, and thanks to everyone who tuned in. So later on in the week, I'm going to do the 5 worst things with Leon. So again, thanks everyone for tuning in. Jason, thanks for being a great partner in all this. And we'll be on soon again. Thank you, everybody.
Sounds good.